You say so.
Me?
Me say so? Are we going?
Yep. Can you hear me?
Are we in?
Can you hear me?
Yeah,
I can hear you.
Does it sound good?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, I like the fade out much better this time.
Okay. Yes, we're going.
We're in. All right. Welcome. This is the Daily Torch. I'm Casey. Or I'm Blaine. That's Casey. And tonight, instead of Will, we have Kevin for the first time.
That's right. Long-time member of the shop.
Yeah.
About time I get on the podcast.
He's the fourth of the quartet for this little fiasco that we opened up. So tonight, same little whiskey game. We got a little whiskey flight. We're going to smoke some cigars. We're going to bullshit about a bunch of stuff. We're going to do some cigar shop etiquette. And we're going to get the hell out of here. Sound good, guys?
Sounds good to me.
Casey, what are you doing over there?
Torching my cigar.
Where do you want to start? You want to start with cigars or you want to start with whiskey?
Well, I was torching my cigar away from the microphone so you didn't hear the...
Yeah. The torch sound. I appreciate that.
Like I'm in some Colombian prison over here just...
What are you cooking over there? What are you doing down that hallway?
Taste the plantains. They need time to cook.
That was terrible. Was terrible. All right,
What do
whiskeys.
you have against my plantains?
Whiskeys. In some order, and we have all three of us participate tonight. So we have the Elijah Craig Toasted. We're doing finished whiskeys, right? So we have the Elijah Craig Toasted Barrel. We have the Old Forester 1910.
Hang on. Every time you say that,
Elijah Craig Toasted Barrel.
no. Finish?
Finished whiskeys.
Yeah, it sounds like Finnish. So
There's
I think they come from Finland.
They're not Finnish.
I'm like,
We're finished.
I'm like, what? Who are these Finnish people?
The
and who are
the
they
problem
making?
is the tail end of that word bleeds into whiskey, so it's finished whiskeys.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
it just sounds like Finnish whiskey,
Yeah.
and I'm like, oh, so which one tastes like shark bait? Like what?
Wait, what's that terrible cured meat that they forced him to eat on Top Gear?
Yeah, it's the fermented shark
I don't think it's shark.
or
I thought it was whale.
whale. Is it fermented whale fat?
It
Yeah.
was fermented whale fat, yeah.
Okay, it's either shark or whale fat. It's one of the two delicacies of the country.
Yeah, and it stunk up like they couldn't even sit in the cars after they opened it.
It's that stuff's bad.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd be willing to try it at least once.
All right, Elijah Craig Toasted Barrel, Old Forester 1910, and the Bourbon Junkies Penelope Artifact Barrel Pick. Architect Barrel
Architect.
Pick. Yeah, I'll get that. We'll figure it out.
Funny, he doesn't look Finnish.
With a name like Craig.
Oh my God, Casey, what were you lighting up that you were trying not to sound like you were cooking meth?
I went with the Shady Moose.
How is that Shady Moose?
It's cool. It's good.
I still haven't smoked it.
I know you still haven't tried one.
I almost did the other day. I will at some point. Maybe next show.
Is it the logo? It just scares you away.
You know, the logo's great.
I saw the logo, and I saw the name, and all it made me think was, what's that beer? Moose?
Moose drool.
Moose drool.
Yeah. Yeah, the moose is loose in the hoose.
Yeah. No, I mean, whoever did their packaging nailed it.
Yeah.
All right. Welcome, Kevin. What do you think? What are you smoking? Tell us about it.
Right now, I am smoking the Unstolen Valor. So far, it's a great cigar starting out. A little bit of pepperiness in the beginning. Not too much.
All right. One of the Muestra de Sacas. Those cigars are so good. And I'm smoking the Saka Khan, the Black Label Mi Querida from Dunbarton. Also the same people that make the Muestra de Saca, strangely enough.
I mean, that's a
Fancy.
massive cigar.
I know. I was hoping. Listen, I lit it up a while before we started, hoping to get it down to a regular size before we started filming, because it's just obnoxious. They make a smaller one, but he's super like protective of everything. So we're trying to get it, but who knows? Like, it's a crapshoot. The guy's like, well, you can have it, but you have to buy 23 facings of this and 12 facings of that, and you have to be able to do a cartwheel in the middle of your shop.
I might be able to get the cartwheel. I'll probably break something, mainly myself.
Right? I mean, is that wrong, Casey? You've dealt with them more than I have.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. It's one loop versus another loop that you got to go through, and then it's like, make sure you have all these, and then make sure that you have the ring of fire to put your bike through, and then make sure you can teach a bear how to wrestle another bear that can also juggle.
Yeah, I mean, I love the cigars, but they don't make it easy.
No.
Anyway, so whiskeys. Right. Though this one. So this topic is for you, Casey. I literally picked this for you.
Which one?
How not to be that guy in a cigar shop.
Oh, which guy?
Because it's getting on summer. You know the guy.
Oh, there's a few of them.
The guy that you want to throw out all the time.
That would be
All of them.
all of them.
So we're getting on summer in Tahoe, which means the clientele gets a little bit
Kooky.
100%.
Degenish.
Yes. They're from upcountry, we'll say.
Definitely.
All right, so my first pet peeve, and I've seen it in the humidor, even working in here as little as I do at this point.
Yes.
Don't squeeze or roll the cigars. Right. So
Yes.
here's why. And tell me if you think I'm wrong. As near as makes no difference, there is 0% chance you're going to be able to identify if that cigar is dry or rolled properly or whatever, because there's too many different variables.
Yeah.
Right? Like, first, the roll construction. Is it that, like, crunch construction, or is it a proper roll?
Right.
What's the density they roll to?
Yeah.
What's the actual leaf? Is it a box press? Isn't it a box press? What's the shape? Do they have to expand the middle for, like, a perfecto or something? Like, you have no idea.
No.
Well, the biggest issue I have with it is most of them don't know how to do it anyway, so they wind up crushing it and
Yeah.
rattling
Yeah.
it.
Generally speaking, like, what's most likely to happen is you're not going to know if that was a good cigar or not, but you probably ruined it for the person that buys it.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. Unless your name is Nick Padron
Yeah.
or AJ Fernandez.
If you do it professionally, fine.
or Carlos Fuente Sr., don't fucking roll my cigars.
Yeah.
Okay. Because no, no touchy. How about that?
And then along with that, don't break the cellophane without asking. Almost every cigar at this point comes in cellophane.
Yes.
Don't break the cellophane without asking. If the person that's working in the shop says cool, cool.
I love that though. I love when someone takes a cigar and just goes straight to the nose with the cellophane,
Oh, yeah.
and then they go, "Well, I can't smell anything," and I go, "Yeah, it's covered in plastic. So all you're getting is however many people's hands have touched that plastic
Yeah.
and the box they were sitting in."
Yeah.
I have the same issue. And, like, we did have some cigars in there that didn't have the plastic cellophane. My biggest gripe is when they rub it across their nose, wiping their boogers all over it.
Yeah. Listen, when it actually goes, like, to the nose and touches it, you're like, that's your cigar now. What? That's
mean-
your cigar now.
On the foot, thankfully, you know. Other than that,
Yeah.
If it's anywhere else, no.
All right. What are some of your pet peeves, Casey?
Oh man, that's a good question. Oh look, here we go. Speaking of the clientele we're talking
Speaking
about,
of the D-gens?
All the G-gens.
it's always the one who points.
Look at the head on that one.
Yeah.
It's just the bald brotherhood walking in. That's all.
All right.
I mean, you almost all three match.
It's like a biker gang.
The old and slow.
You know, it's got to be the price guy.
Yeah.
The guy who's like, well, you know, I usually go on Cigars International or Thompson's, and good for you. Everyone knows they're cheaper on Thompson's and Cigars International. You know what you can't get though? You can't get those cigars right here, right now. Like, you're walking into a cigar shop because that's what you're here for. You're here to support the cigar shop, not to get the best deal.
Well, and if you're buying off CI to a state that they're not in, any online retailer for cigars, like brick and mortar retailers have to pay a tobacco tax at the wholesale level for everything they buy, right? In Nevada, it's 30%. In California, it's 64.5%. In somewhere in the Northeast, it's like 95%.
Yeah.
I mean, there's stuff that we have in there that we pay more in the end than we would pay if we bought it off CI.
No.
But you're not allowed to do it.
Yeah. Yeah. I would love to stock the humidor with CI.
Yeah.
I would save money almost every time.
All right, so here's one of mine. Do you have any, Kevin, before I start rambling?
I was thinking about it, and like a couple weeks ago, did the viewers know where our shop is?
Yes.
So they know we're located in a casino.
Call them out if you know their name.
My favorite thing is people walking up and bringing up vouchers saying, "Does it work in this shop? Can I get a $5 cigar?" I'm like, if there were $5 cigars, man, definitely.
I mean, if I didn't know there were casinos that allowed that, where the shop was owned by the casino and they could use their comp points,
Yeah.
that would bother me more. But I've been in the properties in Vegas where you can just go in and use your comps, or you can charge it to your room.
But that used to be here too, and we just haven't done it yet.
Yeah.
I don't know if we ever will, though.
So here's another one, right? If you are flicking or tapping your cigar to ash it, don't expect anyone to feel bad when you've cracked your cigar. Like, you properly ash a cigar by rolling the ash against the ashtray.
Oh, or what about when they put it out?
Oh, the crush.
Right.
And then it smokes for about a week and a half.
Listen, I understand why you do it sometimes. Usually when the cigar gets to that point where it's just,
No, I
Not
crack
even
it.
good.
I crack it in half.
you crack it in half.
If it's unsmokable, and I do it all the time. It goes between two fingers, and I crack it in half.
Snap.
Yeah.
Yeah, he smashes it in half. Yeah, no, it's the when you fucking just smush it like a cigarette butt, and it smokes longer than a Tesla battery on fire. And you're
Yeah.
just like, Jesus, and it reeks.
All right, another one. If you're in the United States of America, don't ask for Cubans.
Oh, that happens all the time, man.
I know. I've been into cigar shops where they actually had a box on the counter that said $5, any questions about Cubans. Yeah. It was like the swear jar, but for Cubans, right? The fine is immense. If you're in a shop that has them, when you've been there long enough that you've earned the privilege, they'll let you know. And oh, by the way, if you come into a shop, especially in Vegas or a nicer city, and you ask for Cubans out of turn, and they're like, "Yeah, we have those." Here's what's about to happen. You're about to get ripped the fuck off. It might actually be a Cuban. You're going to pay 4 times what you should pay for that. Rightfully so. Like, you deserve it.
Or it might not even be a Cuban. They just get a Cuban round and say it is.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh no, I had a dude. When he came in here, he was like, "Oh, I bought these Cubans from this guy in like California somewhere." And I was like, "Oh yeah." He's like, "Yeah, you look at them for me." And I was like, "Yeah, I'll look at them for you." One of them was a Romeo, and it says Dominican Republic on the band. And I was like, "Dude, you realize that these are all Dominicans, right?" He goes, "Well, no, they just say Dominican on them, but they're all Cubans." Well,
That's not how that works.
I'm like, "No, it's the other way around. They make them in Cuba, and they also make them in the DR. You just paid Cuban prices for Dominican cigars because you're a sucker."
You just got smoked.
That shit was hilarious.
Oh my! Well, most of the bands are good enough now. I love it when they walk up and they're like, "Can you tell me if this Cuban is Cuban?" I'm like, "Not outside the box," because I mean, the way that Cubans are set in the box is pretty specific, right? It's exact
Yeah.
in a couple of ways. And if you open up a box top on a brand new box, you're like, "Nope, those are fake." But outside the box, you're looking at it. Most of those bands are so good now, unless it's just a disaster and they should have known from the beginning. Like, oh, the bleeding ink and blurred logo didn't give that away.
No, they just got a little bit of water on them on transfer.
You're like, shit, I'm sorry, man.
They also misspelled Cuba, so I don't know how you
like-
get to that one.
Some other basics, like don't put your feet on the furniture, which is one of my favorites in here. It's
Dude.
not your living room. Don't spit in the ashtray.
Oh,
So-
it's the spitters.
Yeah.
The spitters, yeah.
Oh, let me stand over the ashtray, the fucking trash over here, and just spit a loogie.
See, my biggest gripe about the feet on the furniture is when you redo one, and like it's not the best job. But I mean, I redid it, and I see people put their feet on it. I'm just like, come on, man, put your feet down.
Oh yeah, I tell people,
Oh,
and
yeah.
I think Casey will tell you I'm pretty friendly about it, but I have no qualms about it either. Like, hey, bud, feet off the chairs, like feet off the furniture.
I asked you 3 times.
Yeah.
The other one, like they'll use those small little ones that we have as chairs themselves. Usually ruins them.
Yeah.
Oh, I waited for one of these small tables
To just collapse.
to just collapse and impale somebody.
Oh yeah, they're
Like-
not expensive. I mean, I feel bad because because the lady that did the tops put so much work into them, but they're really cheap tables.
They are $20 tables.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are $20 IKEA tables. They look nice,
Yeah, I mean the tops are beautiful now.
but
Look, that top belongs on like a $200 or $300 table.
yeah,
But it's a $20 cheap ass table.
cheap ass table.
Anyway, I think that's all I have for basic qualms. Like, it's a casino. We're gonna get people walking in here drunk. Not much you can do about that.
Yeah, I mean the drunk guys. You know, you just have to deal with them because
No parking in valet.
and there's no parking in valet apparently.
Not anymore.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean,
there
some
should
other
be,
stuff,
there shouldn't
right?
be
Like-
parking in valet because it should be valet, so it should be moving along.
I think one of my favorites, and I don't usually I'm just chuckling so much that it doesn't bother me, but one of my favorites is when they walk in the door, right? You walk in the door, you're looking straight at the desk, and it's got all the cigarettes and cheap nonsense, like backwoods and swishers. And they're like, "Is this all the cigars you have?" And all they have to do is turn their head 90 degrees, and there's a massive 4-pane sliding glass door into a humidor.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think we should probably do a short so they can see what it looks like.
Is this all you
Yeah.
have?
Yeah.
Do you have chapstick?
Do you guys sell aspirin?
Is this where I get Advil? I need condoms. Like, do you have condoms?
I've been asked for Viagra before.
Viagra?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, it's a casino, so you're going to ask for,
Do you-
like, hey,
Do you have those horny goat weed pills?
you know where I can go to party?
You know where I can get
Nah,
some
man.
cocaine?
Yeah.
You know
that
where
white
it's
girl is?
snowing?
Yeah.
Do you know a girl named Molly?
Listen, my favorite thing to do to you when you were working
There's
the
an
bar
avalanche,
was
man.
send them to you. Me and Casey would do that constantly.
Oh, for cocaine?
Somebody
it's
would come
hilarious.
out.
You know, I would say that that's bad, but I deserve it because we used to do it to bartenders. When I tended bar in the corridor, we would send them all over the place to bartenders that we knew. Like
that's-
we'd send them to Cabo all the time.
That's why we sent them to you, because we knew you were just going to send them somewhere else.
Yeah.
So it's this train of, like, having to go for this journey to get fucking cocaine. I love when people ask right here where we are. We're next to the bathroom.
Yeah.
I always go, just go 5 feet and find a stall with more than one dude in it.
Yeah.
Guarantee you there's cocaine in there.
Something's happening in there.
Listen for the sniff.
Yeah.
What? Golly, what's happening next door?
If you hear coughing, you've gone too far.
Yeah. I mean, it's a casino, so it's happening. You shouldn't have to look that hard.
Yeah.
Let's walk into the cigar shop and find out if they're selling cocaine.
Yeah, do they have cocaine in there?
Yeah.
These guys would know.
Especially
Okay.
like look here, look behind me right now. People come in and ask that question with these dudes sitting there
Oh, in the chairs.
in the chair. Yeah.
So
Smile and wave, boys. Smile and wave.
I thought of another pet peeve,
What do you got?
and it's more of informational stupidity that I feel like it is. It's when they come in and say, "Can you roll in these?" I'm like, no.
Yes.
You got all these other ones. Why would you ruin a perfectly good cigar to roll in it?
Because that's what they want to do. They see this canoe, this giant canoe that they could put all this weed in. And they're like, yeah.
Oh, dude, 100% though. I just sent him to the Tatiana wall.
No, well, I always tell them, I'm always honest. I'm like, this wrapper is paper thin. It's designed for flavor, not to be cut up and put your marijuana in. Like, that's what they make backwoods. It's a really thick leaf, and it's clearly meant to do what you think it's supposed to do.
Yeah.
I'm
But
like, now I'll sell you this $20 cigar. And when it flakes apart on you, you're going to look like a really big idiot.
yeah. Look, I want the best cigar you have. I want to roll the world's biggest blunt.
No,
All right, well, the cigar's going to cost you more than the weed, probably, first of all. And you're going to F it up.
And you don't have that much weed.
I mean,
Who are you trying to flex for? Come on.
you remember that one that we used to have? Used to be
It's
like
a 2-footer.
2 feet long.
Oh, yeah.
The Oliva.
I sold the
2-footer?
last one of
Yeah.
those.
Yes. We can order more if we want.
No,
No.
don't do that.
Not the generals, the other ones, the 18 inches, not
What I think we should do is when they come in, we should order the egg just for that.
I wouldn't be opposed to the egg.
the egg. Good old egg.
Because that was a great punishment cigar.
That's a great joke cigar.
It's
The thing is, it wasn't that long, and you'd be smoking it for like 3 hours.
yeah, it's short. It's the halfway point that you realize
No, fuck
What the fuck am I doing?
Yeah, I've been doing this for a while now.
Like, I have been puffing on this bitch, and she's not going anywhere.
I'm not gonna lie, I'd probably try that cigar.
And you look down, and you're just like, oh, that's because there's this torch of heat. Because that egg gets up to like, what, like a $50 ring gauge, a little bit bigger than a $50.
Bigger.
Yeah. So you have this bright red, cherried out, like you need an 8 burner to get it, like keep it going. God forbid it goes out.
Not to mention,
Because if it goes out, you're fucked.
if you keep it going, it's just coming in hot at that
Oh,
point.
it's a spicy bitch for sure. And then you get to the bottom and you're just like, oh, thank God.
That was the alternative. When I did my hazing in here 100 million years ago, it was the egg or the triple Ajero Lancero Maduro from LFD.
I really like that one.
I would have taken the egg.
I did too, but I did inhale it. It was a great cigar, but inhaling through that thing was work.
I wouldn't even try to inhale through that.
I got through it. It was me and another guy. It was me and Chelsea. and Chelsea went and threw up about halfway through it. I got through it. I was sitting in one of the chairs, and I went, I'm going to get some water. And I put my hands on the arm of the chair, and I pressed up about 3 inches. And I went, nope, I'm going to sit right here.
I'm not going anywhere.
I tried.
Not
failed.
till the
I'm
world
gonna
stops
sit here.
spinning.
You guys smell these whiskeys at all?
I did.
I've smelt them.
What do you think?
I think there's a clear winner.
Off the nose?
Off the nose.
What are you thinking?
Nose. It's
What are you thinking and why?
it's A for me.
Yeah?
Can I get a description of these actually?
So they're all by finish. They're like the Elijah Craig toasted barrel. They create the bourbon normally, like in a standard issue bourbon barrel. It's proper char or whatever.
Yeah.
And then they finish it in a toasted barrel, which is supposed to bring out some sweeter, almost like marshmallow notes. The Penelope is a French oak stave, so it's the second finish on it. They took French oak because bourbon is done in American white oak. So they took French oak staves and threw them in to finish it. And the 1910, I think, is also a toasted. Like it comes from the original 1910 bourbon was an accident in 1910 where they filtered 2 different barrels into one thing, and one of them. Anyway, it's a double barrel finish.
Okay.
All the proofs are relatively low. I think the Penelope is the highest at like 112 ish.
So based off
Oh,
the
okay.
smell, I'm thinking C is Penelope.
Well, go. I mean, don't try guessing yet.
Oh,
First,
yeah.
just focus on ranking them. Just pick your best, all the way down to your worst.
We've had the old 10 before, right?
The 1910.
Yes.
We have had the 1910 before. It was one of the early episodes.
It's the blue. I'm
We
trying to get a
tasted it.
bottle.
You know what? We tasted it against the Woodford Double Oak,
Okay.
and I don't know what else we tasted it against.
But it's the blue bottle.
Yeah.
I'd say B is more like a subtler tone to it
Okay. I mean,
compared to C.
Casey, what shows? You said you had a bunch of shows that had release dates all of a sudden.
Oh, yeah?
C's good.
That's what I was waiting for. 'Cause that's the one I was smelling.
Is it really good, or are you being sarcastic?
There's a little facetiousness in there. That burns.
Casey's sort of a proof weenie.
I mean, I kind of am too, but I'm not as complaining as that.
We should have a video of him just walking around and leaning on stuff. Like, hold on.
Yeah.
I'll be back with you in a second, guys. Yeah.
If you let it hit back here,
Yeah.
almost makes you want to cough.
Not me so much, but
Well, yeah, you're used to
That's-
drinking stuff like
That's
this.
because you've bourboned away all of your sensations.
I think it's C over B.
C over B.
Now, 2 of these I've never had before, so putting a guess to it, I've never
You've never had the Elijah Craig?
the toasted barrel.
Yeah.
I maybe have had it once.
What's the other Elijah Craig?
The barrel proof is the one I get all the time.
Oh, okay.
That's the one.
That's what I'm thinking.
The guys that did this, the barrel pick, the Penelope barrel pick that I got it from, like the YouTube channel that does it, they always accuse the barrel proof of tasting like magic markers. And I'm not gonna lie, it kind of does. I mean, it's once you think that note and smell it, you can never not smell it and not think that again. Although the one that scored really high, so last year's, there's 3 releases of Barrel Proof, January, May, and September. And the September release supposedly didn't have that. It was supposed to be an exceptional whiskey. But I have a bottle. I haven't opened it yet. But I think so far it's B over C.
Later episode for that
Or
one.
C over B. Yeah, I mean, at some point I'm just opening a lot of bourbon. It gets... I'm going to have boxes and boxes of...
B is nice.
You like B?
B is
B
smooth.
is-
Smoother than C was.
Okay.
So it's definitely a lower proof. Methinks. Yeah, there's no fire in that at all.
I was expecting more out of the palate on A than I get off the nose. You guys pick up any specific notes on this? We should probably start doing actual notes at some point. I mean, we don't, but what do you guys pick up? Who knows? All right.
Well, you know what's hard is I need that descriptive wheel.
Oh, you know what? I meant to print that out for you.
Yeah.
I'll print those out for next time.
The descriptive wheel would help
Yeah.
because then it has those words, and you just kind of go, "Oh, I know that word."
Yeah, you do kind of have to think about the thing and then smell it and be like, do I get peach?
Yeah, like-
do I get caramel? Do I get butterscotch?
Yeah. Well, and you
Do I
just
get
you look at
cinnamon?
them and you go, "Oh, that's what that's called."
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like A has a bit of a buttery tone to it.
Okay. Do I get, marshmallow mellow or brown sugar or like burnt sugar?
You know, they
or-
have one for cigars too.
Yeah.
They have a cigar one, we should print that one out too.
Just get both of them.
Well, the cigar one's kind of cool because it breaks it down into like 3 levels basically. It's like 3 or 4 levels, and like the first level is super like easy, right? Like it's the most obvious thing you'd ever smell,
Yeah.
and then the next level up is like in that category, but let's add something to it, and then it goes to the 3rd category, and then it gets to the 4th category, and like by the 4th category, you're like, dude, no one's tasting that.
I'm not getting any of that.
Yeah, where
The first
where
wheel is
that?
like tobacco, chocolate, coffee.
Yeah, and like spice.
Yeah.
And then it's like, what
And
kind
pepper.
of spice?
And pepper.
Yeah, what kind of pepper?
I don't think I'll notice the tobacco one if we're smoking cigars.
Well, you get down to the tobacco, and it's like, or the coffee one I love is it's like dark, aromatic, like Brazilian coffee, and you're like, what the fuck am I supposed to know what that tastes like?
Well, a lot of people do.
Like just out of nowhere, I'd be like, oh, look at this dark Brazilian coffee, it's delicious. Like, you're not gonna fucking know that.
Oh my God. No, wait, Casey. So back to what I was asking you.
Yes.
What are the releases you're excited about?
Oh, for TV.
Yeah.
Want to talk about TV?
And movies.
TV and
And Beetlejuice.
movies.
Beetlejuice 2.
I don't
You're
know
excited
how I
for
feel about that one
Beetlejuice.
yet.
How are you not excited for Beetlejuice?
I am excited for Beetlejuice.
Not you, him.
No, I'm excited. I'm just unsure about it. Like, think about it. Like,
How could you be
the first
unsure
one
about
that
It has Michael Keaton.
And it's Tim Burton's coming back.
It's gonna be okay.
See, and I don't know that much about it. I don't watch TV all that often as much as I wish I would. I spend a lot of time with kids and sleeping.
I mean, that's fair. I watch a lot of stuff while I'm doing other things. So I watch them in bits and pieces.
Right.
I have something on in the background. But Beetlejuice,
Like I tend to have.
You'll watch it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll watch it. I tend to have like
Mission
NCIS
Impossible,
in the background. It's always a go-to.
Are we doing movie night in here next Tuesday, Casey? Are you going to come up?
I mean, if you ask really, really nicely, I might.
What night are we doing
Or
that?
I'll just sit at home and say, fuck all of you.
It comes out Tuesday. John Wick 4.
John Wick 4 is coming out on
I
Tuesday.
didn't even know that was coming out. Look at that. I'm so behind.
All right, so we'll start there. We'll start with John Wick 4.
If you wanted to stay home, you shouldn't have told me.
John Wick 4 digital release is the 23rd of May. Okay, from what I've got. And then we move on to the 15th of June is Strange New World Season 2.
Yes.
The 16th of June is the Grand Tour. Euro Crash, I believe is the title of this one.
Did you see the cars? They're hideous.
They're awesome. I think there's one of them's a Morgan.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, a Morgan, an SSR. I don't remember what the other one was.
And then we've got the 22nd of June is The Bear Season 2.
Which I enjoyed season 1.
The trailer for Season 2 looks pretty good.
Yeah.
I liked Season 2 or Season 1, so I'm pretty sure Season 2 is going to be just the same. They are adding a couple characters, but for the most part, just everyone else has come back,
Yeah.
which is good. The 29th of June is the first 5 episodes of The Witcher season 3.
This is the last season with Cavill.
Yes.
So this is the last season anyone's going to watch.
Yes.
More
Okay.
likely.
This is pretty much the end.
Okay.
I think July 27th is the last 5 episodes.
Okay.
So you have to wait to watch the whole series.
So they're doing 5 and 5.
Yes.
So it's not episodic.
It is episodic. It's just Netflix wants to get people not to just subscribe for 7 days and cancel.
Yeah.
So they make you wait. And then the 30th of June is Jack Ryan season 4.
Where are we looking at for?
Or 24, The Better Legacy season 2.
24 without the 24.
The
Yes.
last season of Jack Ryan felt
is definitely 24.
100% like 24.
Just was missing the clock.
Yeah.
And then the 18th of July will be the new Justified series.
Which, again, I'll watch.
Yes.
Have we heard anything for Shorzy yet?
No, there is an episode. So the 19th, there's a special episode of Letterkenny,
Okay.
which apparently introduces 2 new characters.
What?
But that's all we've got for now. Is it's just
Are they losing characters? They just adding?
no,
two
they're
more?
adding characters, and it's for one of the they're doing the it's a special holiday. Like last year's special episode was the women's appreciation,
Okay.
where they had the Miss Modeniality,
I remember that.
which was hilarious.
Yeah.
So, whatever holiday they're celebrating this year, I imagine will equally be hilarious. But I know that they're filming that, and then I think they're filming Letterkenny now. Plus, they're doing Shorzy.
I still haven't finished the last season of Letterkenny. It was not their strongest season.
You just gotta, it's the last. It's like the last 3 episodes that are just like, they're okay.
Yeah.
But I mean, it culminates with them beating up all the degens. So
Well, that's fun, but you got to work to get there.
it takes a lot of work.
Like
They really kill it off first with the when you see the dicks the first time, and you're just like, oh, you should have saved that episode.
Yeah.
Anytime you have the Noah Dick jokes, they're fantastic.
Yeah. All right. You guys have a ranking? I don't yet.
I mean, I have a general idea. At least for one of them. The rest of them, I'm still trying to figure out. I figure I should have stayed away from C being the first one that I tried. The way it hits.
C hits
You think so?
right in the nose. That's where I get all the heat. Comes right up into the nose.
Mine is when it hits the back of the throat.
Yeah.
Am I wrong?
It's in the throat. The real question you have to ask yourself when you're asking proof is, does it carry all the way through?
Mine stops right about here.
Like, do you feel it go all the way to your stomach?
Yeah. If it's really high proof, you're going to feel it further down, I guess. They have a stupid name for it that I'm not going to say here because I don't like it.
Oh, yeah?
It's ridiculous.
Oh, come on.
It's like the same people that that's a good pour of whiskey. Can we just say that's good whiskey?
That's a good pour of whiskey.
Yeah.
It's a great
But
pour.
That's
so-
or that's a good dram. Just say that's good whiskey.
That's a good drink.
Less syllables, more clear.
What is a dram?
That's a good question. I think that's a dram. I don't know.
That's I never heard the word dram before. I don't know what that is.
Yeah.
That's some good whiskey.
Right?
Yeehaw.
That's enough.
That's some good firewater.
No,
That's all
no,
you
no.
need. That's-
If it's whiskey, so you got to do it in like Appalachian. You have to do it like a Kentucky accent,
Oh, okay.
Like we go on
Like-
Maynard?
like Northern Appalachian. No, like Justified.
Like Justified.
Justified, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. What else you guys want to talk about? I'm running out of things. We got Don't Be That Guy in the Cigar Shop.
Yep.
Even though some of you were going to.
Oh, and don't bring your own fucking cigars.
No, I don't care if you bring cigars.
No.
Really?
No.
I mean, we charge
No.
for it. They're paying. It's.
No.
Listen.
No.
It's
No.
It's $15 without cost
No.
associated.
Don't even do it.
Wait, what if they... Let's give them a chance. They could bring 1 or 2, but they have to at least take a look in the humidor to see what we have.
No.
No?
No. Unless I know you. Okay, if I know you, and you have been a patron to the store for like a long time, that's acceptable.
Or if you are both bringing really good cigars
And sharing.
and sharing,
Yes, there we go.
then I can get behind that.
Sharing is good too.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you're strolling in with Cubans and you're gonna kick one down to the guy working the counter,
That-
right on.
yeah. Now,
complain.
that's a different conversation.
Might not even charge you then.
Different conversation.
Yeah.
But if you just walk in, sit down, don't say nothing, okay? I don't know you. You don't know anybody in the store. And you just light your own cigars all willy-nilly like.
Yeah, I mean, at the very
That's
least, ask, right?
disrespectful.
At the very least, ask.
That's, yes, ask. But if you walk in and you're that guy,
Well, and I don't know about you, but if you walk in and you're like, I'm going to be less friendly if I have to approach you about your bad habits.
that's fair. Because it's a peeve.
Yeah.
You've peeved me. You've damaged the calm of my day.
Yeah.
Okay, and you're gonna hear about it.
Like now I have to, the first thing I'm going to say to you outside of welcome is going to be negative. Like I'm going to have to correct your behavior, which I know a lot of people looking over at you in the corner ask for forgiveness, not permission. But there's a cost. There's going to be a cost to that approach.
He was looking at
Yeah.
Because you know he was looking at Will.
For anyone that was curious.
Anyone was curious.
No, agreed. But we're about to see, listen, we're 3 weeks from all the degens.
I know, but
And listen, they're business, and I love them, but there are days when it's tough.
yeah, there's days and nights.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It becomes a little frustrating.
it's a little haggard, a little bit.
The funny thing is we say this and we're harassing people about what you can and can't do in a cigar shop. But the funny thing about cigar shops is that you can't, one of the reasons we do this show is because you can talk about anything.
Well, yeah.
As far as like controversial dialogue.
well, see now, that's the thing is, but you have to respect the space,
Yeah.
right? Because here's the thing: if you also like are not the person respecting the space, and there are other people in the space that also respect space, you are now public enemy number one
Oh, to everyone in the shop.
on the room.
I mean,
Yeah.
surprisingly, they rarely come in. Those ones that don't respect the space. I think I've maybe had one that I've had to deal with.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Casey gets more than that.
Long
I
purple hair.
experience
Casey is a degen
many
magnet.
levels
Yeah, he is.
of
Yeah.
degenism.
You're just welcoming.
Generally speaking, they stayed away from me. I rarely got them.
Yeah, I don't know.
And it took me almost nothing to correct them for whatever they were doing.
Listen, I mean, you look angry most times.
I
And,
do not.
To regular people, you look angry.
It's
To
very
girls,
true.
you look attractive. To us, we know you.
It's just an angry look all the time.
I'm smiling almost all the time.
It's an angry smile.
Not all the time. I mean, I pick on you. You just
angry smile.
No. Oh, is Will helping these guys out? What's the question? Oh. I think it's an acid.
I'm pretty sure it is.
Your favorite kind.
Go fuck yourself.
You don't like that extraordinary?
The extraordinary Larry?
Yeah, from Larry.
No.
No, I'll tell you Lane's favorite acid cigar. It's the
You
Evan Maduro.
shut the fuck up over
Come
there.
on, it's a great story. These people need to know this.
Oh, my. Which one of you would like to tell it? I'm not putting it into the world.
Casey's the best rendition of it. He knows how to tell it perfectly because he was there.
I know how to tell the story.
Let's put the camera on you.
The story is very funny. I will tell the story. I love this story.
Great story.
So we're sitting in the cigar shop. This is before we owned it. We were just regular, good old patrons. And I was smoking an acid.
Yeah.
Stone cold. Lane looks me in the face. He goes, "Hey, what are you smoking?" And then he smells it. He goes, "Oh, fucking acid."
Yeah.
Which is fine. Hold on a second.
We're going to have to put a pause in this story. So far, it's 100% accurate. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Every time you smell an acid, you just
Oh, I
there's
can
blood
smell-
in the water.
I can smell it from across the room, and Tatiana's too.
Fair enough. I mean, it's the same with Swisher Sweets. You smell those and backwoods like no other. Walk through the casino, you instantly know who's smoking it.
Oh, yeah. And listen, acid's probably the best-selling flavored cigar, like, best-selling flavored premium cigar on the planet.
It's a lot better known than some of the CAOs even.
Yeah, I mean, Tatiana's probably close, but I'm not sure I put Tatiana in the really premium category.
I mean, I put them close to Swisher, but I
Yeah.
mean, Swisher owns
Like,
Drew Estate.
It's
so-
between the two, right? But acid's actually a really quality cigar. I just don't care for the oil, and I don't care for the sugar that they put on the tip.
So you don't care for the La Fontanas either, then?
No. If I was smoking something like that, I mean, generally, if I'm smoking a Connecticut, I'm smoking like that Warhawk, the Henry Clay.
Yeah.
I really like that.
See, you enjoy the Henry Clay. I actually enjoy the Virtue
No, that's fair.
by Man of War.
I haven't smoked the Virtue, but I imagine it's pretty similar. I don't like the Shade. The Maduro I find to be a little bit bitter. Or not the Maduro, the Connecticut. I find to be a little bit bitter. Casey loves it.
You're not wrong. I feel like it's a little green,
Yeah.
usually.
It's almost like, it's the best way I describe it to people that I've found to describe it. It's like smoking an IPA.
Fair enough. If you don't like IPAs, you're probably not going to like this one.
Yeah, it has that like aromatic bitter note that I just don't want in a cigar. Certainly not a Connecticut. I mean, I can understand if you're balancing out like a darker wrap, if that's the flavor profile you're going for, then I think it comes across in like darker cigars as like an anise flavor, which I've also not terribly enjoyed, but I found some that I could smoke.
Fair enough.
I found an Illusion that I liked.
Did you?
Yeah.
Blasphemy.
What was that one?
It was the
Heresy.
Fumar de Amor, I
Burn
think.
the heretic.
And, is that from that other shop?
From Fumari.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of Dion's cigars for sure.
Okay.
But I've been going in there to meet that guy from Reno, the guy that helped us out with these cameras and stuff,
Oh, yeah.
The executive producer.
the executive producer. And when it's full, like the daily cigar smokers are Dion sycophants. They all smoke Illusion. So every once in a while I acquiesce and I smoke an Illusion. And
Just to help.
that's the only one I've ever finished. I've never found an Illusion that I could actually smoke all the way through until this one. But it's all Nicaraguan. It's the anise flavor that he loves in his cigars is toned down a lot.
See, I've never had them, so I wouldn't know.
I'll bring you, next time down there, I'll grab one for you.
All right.
You can smoke it. I'll get you a little one so you can, in case you don't like it, you can just huck it.
That's helpful.
I tend to suffer through.
I
them most
won't
of the
bring
time.
you one, Casey. Don't worry.
Well, I'm curious to try this one that you
Are
claim
you?
heresy on.
Or are you just going to make fun of me for it?
No, if you bring me one,
I will bring you
mean,
one.
I can concur or say that you're a blasphemer.
I
Will,
mean, he'll
would you
still make
like
fun
one
of you.
also?
He
You
was-
used to like the Illusion cigars.
Okay.
You
Yeah.
smoked a lot of the triple eights.
You were kind of going down that road of like
In fact, I seem to remember a couple conversations where you were trying to convince us about them.
there was some conscription going on there.
Your guys' mind is like mine. It's gone. You're not right at all. You're totally wrong.
Listen, you just admitted that your mind's already gone, so
Well,
you
yeah.
can't say ours are.
I'm just saying. I remember a time where I thought you were getting conscripted.
You're absolutely correct. I did smoke the Illusions when they first were coming out.
Yeah.
And the Maduros.
And it was the triple
88s,
eights, right?
Triple Eights
And the
were one of them.
Epernay, right?
And no, not really the Epernay.
I thought you smoked that a couple times.
Once or twice.
Okay.
But not.
That was what turned him away.
Yes.
Yeah, was the Epernay was the one that he was trying, and all of a sudden he's like, these are terrible.
Well, the Epernay was the one they were
So-
pushing in the shop really
Yeah.
hard when it came out.
Exactly.
That's
This
where
is
he
the most
finally.
amazing cigar.
Yeah.
That's where he came to his.
That's
His
where
realization.
that's where his
Thanks for coming in,
conscription
guys.
is.
But yeah,
The
I'll bring a
bald
couple of them
brother
up.
that's left.
What you guys choose to do with them is up to you.
So wait,
All
what's
right.
what's your guys' favorite go-to cigar?
Depends. First cigar?
See, I hate that fucking question.
Look,
It's
I can
tough.
tell you,
Yeah, no,
it is
it's
a
even
tough
here,
tougher when
no,
you own a humidor.
You were just that guy.
Yeah.
Listen, man,
You were just
I've
that
tried
guy.
every cigar in there. You guys have tried every
What-
cigar in there. Your go-to
I
cigar.
have forgotten more about cigars than anybody in this room will ever know about. And the
Exactly.
question that bothers me the most is, what's your favorite cigar?
Look at that, I helped out.
Motherfucker.
There's another peeve.
There's a whole bunch of cigars in there. What do you mean? What's my favorite? Depends
I
on the
didn't say.
fucking day.
Okay,
Well, listen,
let's
I'll
say
ans-
it's not your favorite.
I'll
Let's
answer
say
those
your
questions.
go-to.
What's the best cigar I've ever smoked? It was a Padron 50th with almost a decade of age on it,
Oh, so good.
right? I mean,
So
that's
good.
that's the best cigar I've ever smoked. And I've had Padron 50ths since then that weren't that good. Something about this cigar and the way that it was aged, it was
Just-
incredible.
Just yeah.
See, I could tell you my favorite go-to cigar. It's always been the My Father Antilles. It has that peppery beginning and it goes into that nice creaminess.
Yeah?
I really enjoy it.
It's a solid medium plus,
Yeah.
easy to smoke. But it
Well, see,
also
but that's
But your
that's the
go-to
that's your
cigar.
that's your one, right?
But yeah, that's my one that it's a go-to. Like
Well-
if I get to have it,
well-
I go to it.
like
See,
what do
like
I-
that's
what
a good go-to medium cigar. But what if you're not in the mood for the medium cigar?
Well, I have full-bodied. I mean,
like what are the cigars I've smoked more of even having owned this shop for a few years.
It's
I
your
mean, that-
Ashton
of any-
VSGs
That
and
one's
cabinets.
it's VSGs.
VSGs and the Serie V
Yeah.
by
Yeah.
Oliva.
By Oliva.
Those are the two.
That's it.
And I mean, but if I have them in the humidor, and they're abundant, 80% of the time I'm gonna pick a Padron.
That is true.
I mean, the 1926 Anniversario Maduro.
I regularly see Casey if he goes.
that's too high, man. The 3000s and the 4000s.
No, are fantastic,
Like-
right? But if it didn't matter what they cost,
Right. Just every day.
yeah, you're picking one of the anniversary series.
Yeah, 1926
But
anniversary.
Yeah.
there was a good throwaway cigar that was like 50 cents a stick. It'd be brought in, sold for $1.50 here back in the old shop,
Yeah.
and it was
The Ashton House Selects.
yeah, those premium house selects by Ashton, and they were really good. I enjoyed the torpedoes, and those were like a daily smoke for me. But like, if I really had to choose, I would always pick the My Father over that. And Casey, I mean, for your mild cigars, I always see you going with Undercrown Shades usually.
I smoke. There are 3 mild Connecticut's that I go between, and the reason I smoke 3 of them is so I try not to kill the box.
Fair.
That's the Perdomo Habano Bourbon Barrel Aged, the Undercrown Shade, and the Henry Clay Warhawk.
Yeah, and for me, it's really easy. If we're talking about the first cigar, the light cigar, the coffee smoke, the first cigar of the day,
Yeah,
whatever time of day it is,
Corona.
it's the Corona
Connecticut.
Henry Clay Warhawk.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but like for a Maduro, I like the Rocky Patel Maduro, but I also like the Undercrown Maduro. You know,
All right, so what about your guys' first cigars that you had? What was your experience with your first
Oh,
cigar?
my first cigar was a Romeo and Julieta.
just a regular good old like bully.
Yeah, just the standard, like the white label, the 1870.
Yeah, 1870 bully.
Yeah.
What did you first learn when you smoked it?
I didn't. I mean, I wasn't. I was 15.
No, that's when I had my first cigar. Was when I was 15. Mine
I don't know
was
that
a
I learned.
Macanudo second.
I mean, we were walking. Like there was 4 of us, and we all thought we were going to be,
Macho Man.
college and professional football players at the time. So we didn't drink. We didn't smoke cigarettes. We were those guys. We were in the weight room all the time. So once a month we started taking a cigar walk. But the first one was in like the middle of January in Tahoe. So you're barely tasting the cigar because you're freezing your ass off. Like we're walking down the street in Tahoe in January.
Yeah, thank God for cigarillos.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, you get used to the cold at some point.
Those little cornets, you're like, oh, this is good. Damn
Yeah.
it.
This is perfect.
Casey, what about you?
My first cigar was in the shop when I was about 18, and it was an acid blondie.
Oh, you got to finish that story still.
Oh yeah.
Oh, the acid. So
But yes, my first cigar was an acid blondie. Tony gave it to me,
Denuns.
the nuns, and he was like, just try it, because I was really hesitant about smoking, because I was like, I don't smoke. And he was like, no, it's different. I was like, oh, how is it different? He's like, well, you don't inhale, and I'm like, oh,
You'll see.
I can pretend to smoke then for a couple of hours. That's fine. And I've been here for 12 years. Smoking.
So my first cigar, like I said, it was a Macanudo second. We were out at Red Rock Mountains camping with my soon-to-be, he was my soon-to-be stepdad then, Scott. And he gave it to us. We were shotgunning beers, and he's like, here, try this. He didn't tell me I wasn't supposed to inhale.
Oh,
I inhaled
that guy.
I inhaled the whole thing. I turned every shade of green,
Yep.
refused to puke.
That's just
because
mean.
I'm stubborn.
That's just
Honestly,
mean.
here's the problem: is that you would have felt better if you threw up.
I guarantee that.
Yep.
But I watched my little brother because he was like 14, and he started vomiting, and I couldn't stop laughing.
No,
But I
that's-
refused to puke still.
Listen, once the little brother does it, you can't. That's the deal.
Exactly. He started doing it. I'm like, I can't puke.
The rules have
The
changed.
bar has been set. Yeah.
Listen, one of us had to have show balls. It was me. But I will say there's another funny story. We had a friend. His name's Eddie. He was camping with us, and like he got drunk, and he started running around the camp butt naked, and he went to go jump into the tent, missed the door entirely, bounced back, and landed on a rock with his ass, bruised the whole cheek.
Oh, that's not right.
That's messed
Oh,
up.
but
That's
it was
just
so
mean.
funny.
That's messed up. Messed up.
Those are like the camping trips you hear about from like, I don't know.
I mean,
don't
I
wanna-
have
I
those
don't-
camping trips.
I don't want to say it. I mean, I know a guy
Banging
who,
down
like
south.
the first time he was drunk, he was like 6 on a camping trip with his, I don't know if he was his dad or his legal guardian or what. You hear those stories, you're like, well, that's fucked up.
2001, Flaming Dr. Pepper. That was my first drink.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, my first drink ever was a Sierra Nevada.
Did you like it
Coors
then,
Light.
Coors Light.
Mine was a Coors Light.
I had like, we had a couple of friends. There were Sierra Nevadas, and then they also made their own beer and their own mead. So I had homemade Sierra Nevada, homemade beer, and homemade mead. And then I had a Bud Light, and I was like, what is this swill?
Ah, so you thought the same thing as now.
So you were with somebody who made their own meat. What is this? 1872?
Listen,
what?
No, I went to high school with alcoholics.
Listen, homemade
Oh,
meat is
fair enough.
actually really good if you do it right.
No, it was fantastic. It was an apricot mead. It was brilliant.
Oh.
It was so good.
Well,
But this is the thing, right? Like, I didn't need the thing with Bud Light to think that Bud Light was terrible. It was always bad beer.
So, yeah, I mean,
Listen, Army could be sponsored by Bud Light and Budweiser. Quite literally, every time you went to a party, Bud Light.
Maybe not
everywhere.
now. I just got a
it's
memo.
definitely Bud Light, not anymore.
I just got a memo from the casino that I was working at down the road. One of the employees sent it to me. They put it on the bars. They're not serving Bud Light to anyone except for like the top players. And for the top players, they have to put it in a glass.
That way it's not seen.
Yeah.
Wow.
I was amazed that they put it on the bar. I'm surprised they didn't just take it off, like just take the beer away and just not sell. If you're gonna make that decision, just take the beer away.
Just get rid of it.
We're getting rid of Bud Light. We're in a transition period. Oh, sorry, wrong
This is the
word.
best opportunity to change people over to good beer.
I know, right? We should just look at this as an opportunity to sell better beer.
Exactly.
Because the truth is, independent of this conflict, it's terrible beer. It's garbage.
Yeah, but
It was
it's
piss
not
water to
it's
begin
not
with.
supposed to be good. It's not supposed to be good.
No, but if you're not gonna drink good beer, drink Coors Light
Exactly.
or
This-
Miller Light
or Coors.
But listen, Bud and Bud, the Beechwood aged rice beer that is Bud and Budweiser is so garbage that you have to like turn your head and give it some English when you say it.
I'm sorry. Beechwood? What did you say? Beach?
Beechwood aged.
What is?
I don't know. I don't know
What
why
is
they
that?
do it. It's terrible.
They take a casket and just shove beechwood in there.
No,
All the
they're not even doing
driftwood.
that. They're just throwing in like staves. They're just sandbagging the thing.
Because I've seen the factory and it's nowhere near a beach.
No, but it's Beechwood aged.
Yeah.
That's the thing. I don't know if Bud Light is. Budweiser is.
What is Beechwood?
I honestly don't know.
I
It's
feel
a
like
kind of
it'd be
wood.
the driftwood that
Listen,
shows up.
what it's not is oak, and what it does is make beer worse.
So oak would make Budweiser better.
It couldn't hurt.
If they got rid of those beechwood and threw the oak in there, probably.
I mean,
You know, honestly, I'm surprised every year when I have a beer. At one beer in particular, and I don't know why it always surprises me, but Sam Adams is pretty good.
yeah, Sam Adams Oktoberfest is still one of the best Oktoberfest beers.
But I mean, for what it is, I don't know why more people don't just drink Sam Adams.
Because it's a Boston lager.
Well, it's like Firestone Walker, right? Like Firestone Walker does a million beers now, and I'm partial to most of them because I know the guy that makes them. Like I worked with him
You know, you're kind of friends with those guys.
way back
Was
before
that-
he was at
That
Firestone.
was back when you were in college.
Yeah, I was in college. He was the brewmaster at the brew pub that I worked at in college. Matt, super cool guy. Like our beers were amazing. He was always really talented.
Still amazing.
Yeah, but the Firestone DBA, the Double Barrel Ale, which is he's not responsible for, is still a fantastic beer. Anyway, so I'm in the shop.
Okay, so
I'm like, "What are you smoking, Casey?" And Casey's
Yes,
like,
so-
"It's an acid."
so yes, we've established already that I'm smoking an acid.
Yes.
Now it's dark and oily because it's an Adam Maduro. So it looks really good.
It looks like a good cigar.
With no
and
band
and,
on
and
it.
I took the band off because I don't need the band. I'm good.
Well, because we all
What you
do.
Well, Lane, who's usually very on it,
And observant.
had a brain fart.
Malfunction.
I didn't. The problem was I wasn't paying
Like a drink.
attention the
Yep,
first time. Like it was
ex-
just an out of hat
exactly.
question.
Yeah,
That
like he was being nice, making conversation. But was like, yeah, whatever, cool.
And the
You're
T9
smoking.
had a malfunction.
And so he goes, without
This
hesitation.
is about 45 minutes later.
Yeah, without hesitation, he goes, "What are you smoking?" And I went, "Oh shit, he doesn't remember."
Big grand
And I,
form.
and I look at my cigar and I go, "Man, it's burning some oily, fierce. It looks like a really good Maduro." And I go, "Hey, Try it.
Oh my god. I was
no.
pissed.
He goes, oh, sure. Grabs it, takes one puff.
I'm not even sure I got a puff.
It was like it touched your lips.
I got the sugar.
And when I say that, fear for my life. Like, you know, you play a prank, and then you kind of go, oh shit, did I really throw a brick, or was that a fake brick? I sat there for a minute, and he went, motherfucker.
I was like, no, because there was an intermediate, like it hit the lips, and I started to puff, and I was like, but God, it's God damn it, because that's when I realized what had happened, right? I got the sugar on the lips. I'm like, motherfucker, I can't believe you just did that to me.
Bamboozle.
Yeah.
Listen, that's the sort of prank you need to play.
Worth every ounce of fear.
I think that was the last time I smoked an acid.
It probably was.
That's because you had no choice.
Yeah, completely by accident.
Yeah, it wasn't by choice. It was just all of a sudden you were like, oh, mother.
What was the one that Chris forced us to smoke? The Extraordinary Larry, is that what it was?
So it was the
They're
Extraordinary Larry was usually the leftover one from the gift pack because it's the 6x60.
Yeah.
So he usually had one of those floating around, and if he wasn't in the mood to smoke, then he would hand you off the Red Nasty.
No, because the Red Nasty had that shape, so you knew what it was.
Oh, then it was the cold infusion tea,
No.
maybe?
No, it wasn't that.
No.
I think it was the
Or then it
Extraordinary
was
Larry.
just, then it was just the
I
Extraordinary
think it was the
Larry.
Extraordinary Larry.
Because I
6x60.
that was
Yeah.
the only one I ever
Oh,
tried.
no, and the toast.
Oh, yeah,
Toast.
yeah.
The toast was the
Yeah.
orange band,
Yeah.
which was basically the exact same size, and it was terrible.
Oh, it was, yeah. Well, they're all terrible.
Well,
They're not all
You
terrible.
don't like all of them.
So I honestly won't call acid cigars bad because so many people like them.
Well,
They're high and they're quality tobacco. They're quality cigars. I just don't care for them.
They're just terrible for your palate.
Yeah, I just don't appreciate them.
Exactly.
Because that's it, right? You either like it
Or
or
you don't.
you hate it. Like,
You
there's
know what
no in between.
You know what I don't like about acids though? They're like, what's the flavoring? Like, I have no idea.
It's a complex
Well,
flavoring is what
why
I tell
not?
people.
No one else does either.
Yeah, it turns out that unless you work there,
They don't tell you.
they don't tell you.
It's a proprietary oil.
Yeah,
That's
it's-
all you know.
it's Some kind of like fruit vanilla extract.
Yeah, but there's also some spice in there.
Yeah, and they
There's
add clove.
Yeah.
There's some clove. There's
Which you don't
clearly
like
some
clove
kind
to
of
begin with.
sugar and some spices. You know, it could be Colonel Sanders' recipe for all
Yeah,
I
but
know.
people are like, what is it? And you're like, I don't know.
Yeah,
I can
can't-
tell you the people smoke the crap out of
I
it.
can't explain it. Other than that, it smells like potpourri.
Yeah.
I usually go with the best way to explain this for me is it's a complex flavor that nobody knows yet.
Casey, how long have we been on?
57 minutes.
And I still have a camera going?
You do not. It just crashed.
Oh, damn it. So it's not the battery. It's some function I didn't set up in the camera right. Well, it looks like it on YouTube while I just talk. So,
Right.
ranking the whiskeys. What do you guys got? Let's do the reveal on the whiskeys.
You know, I like A B C
So
today.
you're just going in order.
I like the in order.
And do you have a guess as to which is which? Do you want to let Kevin rank his first, and then you can guess?
Yeah, that's fine.
Kevin, what do you got for ranking?
So I like B more. It felt smoother, tasted smoother.
All right, what's your number two?
Number 2 would have been A. It was more of a buttery texture for me.
All right, and C is your number three.
C is my number 3. Kind of strong. Hits a little harder than the rest,
Okay.
but it's still good.
And Casey, do you have a?
Well,
Good guess.
I think C is the Old Forester.
You think C is Old Forester,
Yes.
1910. All right.
But I think A is the French Oak.
Is the Penelope?
Yes. And then B would be the Elijah Craig, I think.
All right. What about you, Kevin? What do you think?
I chose.
I mean, it's not really fair to ask you because you're just starting these blind flights, but
That's fine. I chose Elijah for B as well.
okay.
And then A, I chose as Old Foster.
Old Forester.
Yeah, Old Forester.
Foster's.
Foster's. I'm stuck
So
on
Penelope
Foster's.
for number three.
Correct.
All right. So my ranking, I've got B was number 1, C was number 2, A was number 3, and I have the same guess as Kevin. I think A was 1910, I think B was the Elijah Craig, and I think C was Penelope.
You think A was 1910?
I think so.
I don't. The 1910 has a bite to it.
Yeah, I remember it having, but it's lower proof than the Penelope, and I remember it having. Whiskey identification. I just got the text. You ready for this?
Yes.
A, 1910.
Oh.
B, Elijah Craig. C, Penelope.
Okay, I'm going.
So I got it right.
Yes.
Me and you both got it right.
Yes, we nailed it.
See, look at that. I got a pretty good palate
You guys are
for
cheating,
not
that's
knowing.
why.
So here's what set it off for me, right? The 1910, I don't remember having as strong of a finish as
It's all on the upfront.
because remember tasting it against the Woodford Double Oak, and the Woodford Double Oak literally had that like marshmallow flavor in it.
Yes.
And the 1910 was more oaky.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. That double. Woodford was so good.
That is a really good bottle.
It's a really good bottle.
I mean, I want to open that historic batch, the historic barrel entry that I got.
Yeah.
We'll taste that in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah.
But of the Woodfords that are regularly available for sale, the Double Oak's the only one I'll buy.
That's fair because it's really good.
Yeah, I enjoyed that a lot.
It's a shame we only have that small bottle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, after we kill off some stuff in the back, we'll bring one in.
That's fair.
We'll add it to the list.
Sweet.
We got quite a bit in
delicious.
the back, so.
What do you guys think? Anything else you want to talk about?
Well, there's no F1. That
Anything?
sucks.
I know.
I mean,
but you can't. What are you gonna do? You're gonna,
I mean, I legitimately, we're not boat racing, so,
yeah.
and I hope the people in Italy are fine and safe. I know they've already lost like 6 or 7 people. It's bad.
You know what's killing the battery on that 6300?
What's that?
It's because I went to autofocus. I'm gonna have to go back to a manual lens and turn off autofocus.
That's the only change, huh?
That's what's doing it.
It started happening after it went to auto?
Yeah. Because I had a
They used to be good for
manual
about an hour
focus
and a
lens
half.
on there that I just focused in right here, and it'll go for an hour and a half or so. And then I put this lens on and I went to autofocus, and now it's crapping out. So I need to get a manual focus or just turn off autofocus and focus that in on a decent f-stop, and it'll be fine.
Okay.
I'll do that next week. That's fine. That's good to know.
Yeah.
But now we have a spare battery for it anyway.
Sweet. But I wanted to see the Mercedes car.
You'll get to see it. It's next week.
I know, but this is apparently a big thing.
Well, it is, but Toto Wolff also knocked everyone's expectations down. He's like, this is the beginning.
It's the beginning.
We think it's going to take corners faster, but we don't think it's faster generally.
But that's fine. If it picks up something somewhere, that's all I need.
Yeah.
That's all I need.
Yeah, I mean, I want to see him be competitive again.
I want the field to be a little closer.
Yeah. No, I agree.
But that's all right. It's a twofer still though.
I mean, I'd at least like to see him competing with Ferrari when Ferrari's in the number 2 or number 3 spot.
Yes, that one's fair. So
Yeah.
we just have to wait an extra week now. But
But you
it's
can't
still
have a
back-to-back.
race in the middle of people losing their homes and
Well, there's no way to get there right now. It legitimately looks like Florida during a huge hurricane.
yeah.
The streets are flooded.
But even if you could, you don't do it.
No, you wouldn't. And that was what the FIA said when they came out. They were like, we're not gonna do this.
Yeah.
Like for everyone's safety, like we cannot do this. Although I think they did offer to send some of the trucks with supplies to Italy
Okay.
because they're close. So it's like, oh, we can just leave some of the stuff at the Ferrari factory and ship out some trucks with like bottles of water and food and stuff like that. And so
Yeah.
I think they actually might do some of that aid work with some of the F1 trucks.
Yeah.
Which is kind of cool.
I mean, speaking of flooding, they were kind of worried that it was going to flood down there.
Oh,
down by the...
in Gardnerville?
Yeah.
Well, they closed Mossville.
Yeah, they closed Mottsville. There's a little bit of water. I think they were going to get ready to do construction as well.
Yeah.
Oh, the groundwater up
It's
here
It's
Oh, yeah.
coming down there.
is
It is.
impressive.
It's coming down there.
And
Have
then...
you seen over by Cave Rock?
I mean, as it starts to
I
get
haven't
towards
been there in a
80
while.
up here.
Oh.
Yeah. No, I had it. I went through. I was like, water on the road, whatever, and I hit it, and it slowed my car down.
Oh, so you know what that is, right? That's a drain.
Yeah.
that's completely
Full.
backflowed with
Yeah.
underground water pressure.
Oh yeah.
It's just bubbling up.
No, I mean with as much snowy as we have and as hot as it got, as quick as it did,
Oh, it's amazing.
we got another 2 weeks of flooding.
Yeah, and that water going through the Carson River right there at the bridge over by the
Yeah.
that 7-Eleven,
Yeah.
395. It's about a foot away from the bottom of the bridge, or at least it was last
it
time I
really?
drove by. Yeah.
Wow. No, I love right now. You can go out and like drill a hole in like some of the driveways around here, and just geysers come up from the groundwater that's just built up everywhere. It's amazing.
You just stick a little spigot in there, and you get free water.
Right?
I don't know.
I trust it more than any of the
I
water
trust
anywhere
more
else.
than any of the water down in Gardnerville.
Or even city water.
All right. What
Like-
about you, Kevin? Anything you got in closing?
Nothing I can really think of off the top of my head. Hockey looks like it's still going. Panthers are looking like they're gonna take it.
Fuck the Panthers.
I felt the same way.
Fuck all. Fuck them.
Oh my god, that's incredible. All right.
Them and the fucking Kraken. Suck a fucking.
Hey, Kevin. Kevin. Casey, you know what you never threw in here?
What's that? What?
Nothing? Like, comment, subscribe.
No.
If you enjoyed the show.
Oh, I didn't know we were at the end yet.
We're pretty much there. You want to say anything else?
No, I mean, I guess that's it.
You're good?
We could end there. We could, you know.
I feel like maybe next week, parenting topic.
Okay. Are you going to be with us regularly on...
I'm gonna try to be regularly here
On
on
Wednesdays?
Wednesdays.
Okay,
Or
cool.
when Wednesdays or Tuesdays, whenever you guys have them.
All right,
But it all
perfect.
depends on what's gonna happen with you and your schedule.
I should be good.
Yeah.
I should have Sunday, Mondays off, and I'll be day shift Tuesday, Wednesday, and for a while Thursday.
Oh, okay. So it won't be too bad on your schedule.
No, I should be fine.
Just so you know, when you start as a director, they do director on duty over there.
Well, I'm not starting as a director.
Well, yeah, you're manager, but eventually.
It's the tryout. I think I have a 90-day tryout before they try and make me a director.
Listen, I feel like you're gonna get it regardless. I mean, with your background and what you've done at other places.
You are kind of overqualified to be just a manager.
Exactly.
No, that's true.
Let's be fair here.
I mean, at this point, I would have seen you as a VP almost.
Captain
No, I mean, it's a big property, and it's been a while since I was in a property that size. So they're going to be questioned, because all the property, like the properties leading up to it are all pretty small. So they're going to have questions, right? I mean, where the properties I was at before were doing, 1, 2, 1, 3 coin in a day, and 1, 8 to 2 coin in on a Saturday. This place is probably doing 5 to 7 million coin in weekdays, and probably 10 to 12 on a Saturday.
Wow.
I mean, I feel like
impressive.
that
And for the
casino
record,
you worked at
I
was doing
say
that
this
almost.
before having seen any of the books, so this is complete conjecture.
It's true. It's true.
But that would be, if I had to put a number to it, that's my educated guess.
I'm actually excited to know some of these things now that you're going into this third casino.
Yeah,
Right?
I'm curious how it's run.
yeah, that's fair.
Like, in comparison to the last two that you worked in, I'm very curious as to where this one stands.
Listen,
Yeah.
I still find it interesting that it's a Cuban guy that owns this,
Yeah,
and he will bring in cigars sometimes.
I spent a significant amount of time in my interview with the vice president discussing whether or not a cigar lounge in GSR was a good idea.
And so
I was tempted to be like, forget the job. I'll just
Yeah,
lease
yeah,
me a space. I'll open you a cigar lounge.
hold the phone.
Where are we at on
Where
that
are we,
then?
Where are we going with that?
Like, oh, I don't need to work here. I can just do this.
Turns out,
Yeah.
if you need an expansion team, we've got one for you.
Yeah. No, 100%.
Yeah, you let me know if that happens. We'll make that work.
Oh yeah, that shop would do 10 times this place.
Fantastic.
Now, say we were gonna go after Padron there, would we go back onto the waiting list again?
Oh no. So here's what I would do, because we already have those direct accounts that we waited for so long on, and we're, I don't know, 3 weeks from Padron probably
Hopefully.
Yeah,
ish.
sure.
Okay. I mean,
Hope
3 to 6 weeks probably.
I would love that to be the number,
I think that's probably pretty accurate.
and I feel like I feel like we're getting closer to that number being accurate.
Yeah.
It
But
just depends on the weather.
I would start an umbrella corporation housed in this place with the licenses, and then I would transfer product down there. I would order out of one place.
So essentially using this almost as a wholesale.
Yeah.
Oh, because it is.
And I would still, I mean, the transfers would all be legal.
Right.
But yeah, I would use this as the headquarters and transfer product down there, ordering off the same license. Because then you get the benefit, you get the credits of the volume orders, so you get access to all the really good stuff. Like you get Fuente, and you're immediately doing enough to get like the Opus account.
Right.
Like, why fight that?
Exactly. Makes sense.
So,
Cool.
that's, I mean, I would make sure that everything I was doing was above board, but that's what I would try to do.
Oh, I like it.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
All right. You guys good?
I'm good if you're good.
Kevin,
Are
you good?
Kevin?
Again?
Huh? Yeah.
Glad to see you in here, man. It's good to finish the quartet.
Lane. Who's we got?
Of course.
All right.
It's
got
been
I
a
got-
long time.
I got no camera.
coming.
We got Lane. He's got no camera. Hey.
All right. For Kevin and Casey, I'm Lane. We're at High Sierra Cigars. Come see us.
Like, comment, and subscribe.
Perfect.
And we're clear.